You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't
It's
know how
amazing.
that's possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber, awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast. Public service announcement. The flannel I'm wearing right now is I've got 2 buttons down, as per what I hear is the correct way to wear flannel.
Is my zipper too high on this?
I got a thing about quarter zips.
It's kind of weird.
It is.
I'll be honest with you.
It's like
I have two
pick
of
a
these.
direction. Like be a zip, be a don't, be a pullover, whatever. Like why be a quarter zip?
I agree. But I tend to go in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, because like,
What's up, Vlad? How many Honda Civics do you have with the coils cut? You know.
I never know where to put it, so I just put it in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Whatever.
If my wife didn't buy me clothes, I'd wear the same shit every day. I don't buy clothes.
I'm pretty much done buying clothes right now because I went on a search for a very long time for proper flannels. I found them and I bought like a dozen.
Yeah, see, I don't have like a, I don't know. My wife buys my clothes.
I've officially gotten to the point right now where like I found the jeans I like, I found the flannels I like, I found the underwear and the socks, and I stocked up on them.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't plan on buying clothes for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Well, I fell in love with these pants. I've got like 8 pairs of these same pants.
Mhm.
I freaking love them.
Nice.
I don't know. That's just what I do.
I wear 2 pants. I have these lined
Yeah.
fleece lined pants from Costco,
Yeah.
which are fantastic. They're like
Yeah.
like they look like Carhartt pants, like
Yeah.
the duck twill.
I had a pair of the Carhartts with the flannel line.
Mhm.
I don't know where they went. They lost. I don't know how you lose a pair. You lose a sock.
Your wife
You
threw
lose
them away. Guaranteed.
This was before I met her.
I've
Which they wouldn't
lost
fit
so
anyways.
many things that are like I'm guaranteed. I don't want to ask questions about them because I don't want to hear the answer. But the other pair of pants I wear is from 511. Whether you are tactical or not, as far
Tactical
as
pants.
how their pants fit and the price and the fact that they have magazine pockets. But if you're a dad, 2 extra pockets on pants,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, sign me up. Love them.
All right. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Let's get this episode started. Thanks for tuning in. This is Ben Tyler from America's News Podcast coming at you from Spokane, Washington. We love you.
We
Buy from
should
Diesel
pre-record
Bars.
this. We don't have to do this every time.
No, because I feel like some of our best shit comes out during the intro.
All right, just get it done.
Tyler, reviews go.
Reviews.
Hurry up.
Keep the reviews coming in. 5-star
Shut up,
reviews.
Tyler. Let's talk about other things.
Sweet. Okay, so
You've heard the intro enough times. This is
yeah.
American Diesel Podcast. Figure it out.
reviews, yeah, whatever. Okay, so I have seen this many a times on, especially like Instagram, probably YouTube too, of some jackwagon, like telling you like the best diesel engine or like the best diesel truck or whatever. Okay, we're gonna solve this whole debate with the engine today, because if you actually think about it, there's only one answer to this question of the best diesel engine that has been produced to this day.
And just so you know, me and Tyler are in like 100% agreement on here.
100%
Cummins
agreement.
guy, Ford guy,
yeah.
Duramax. Just don't even get in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We agree on the answer 100%.
Yes.
And that answer is the 5.9 Common Rail.
Hands down.
It's the best diesel engine
That has ever been made
I agree.
to this day.
Yeah.
As far as in a light duty truck.
Yes. And all you heavy duty guys out there are like, oh, this, that.
Okay. Okay.
But
We're not talking about you.
The thing is, though, even if you're a heavy duty guy, I guarantee you, and again, like I am not a heavy duty guy, nor is Tyler, there is a larger displacement, bigger engine similar to a 5.9 Common Rail for you guys. But
Yeah.
as far as like pickup truck platforms, the 5.9 Common Rail 03
Engine.
to 07 engine is the best diesel engine in a pickup produced ever. Flat out, hands down.
Yeah.
And I'm a diehard 7.3 guy.
And we're going to explain.
Yeah. So there is a lot of and again, like what Tyler said, we see these people like, this is the best engine, this is the best engine, this is the worst, this is the worst, this is the worst. The part that I can't figure out is why there's even a fucking debate. Like, have they never, like, there shouldn't even, the answer should always be 5.9 Common Rail.
Yes. Again, Cummins guy. The 5.9 Common Rail, out of every diesel engine, has the least amount of issues. It is the simplest as far as design, and it is the simplest to work on if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turbocharger, the turbo, it's got a non-VGT turbo.
A journal bearing whole set turbo.
Whole set journal bearing turbo that can last hundreds of thousands of miles. Solenoid type injectors. Common Rail.
Mm-hmm.
CP3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not fucking overhead cam or anything like that. It's there. The bottom end is extremely strong.
Overbuilt. Stock bottom end, 4 digits. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is not, and we're not talking about like building shit tons of power. Let's just talk about the best engine.
Yeah. Heads, great. There's a plenty of room to improve on as far as airflow with them, but even in factory form, you can make a massive amount of power with them.
Let's just, small tangent right here.
Yeah.
You try and think of a different engine that you can triple the stock horsepower rating with the factory bottom end and the factory head.
Yeah.
Fucking fight me.
Yeah.
Fight me. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
And it is extremely simple to work on.
Mhm.
Not that you don't. I don't want to discredit people that like diagnose Cummins trucks, because there's certain things that take a educated mind to be able to decipher. But in general, working on that engine is extremely simple.
it's very straightforward. It really is. It's like, how good are you at working at an overhead valve 4-cylinder Honda engine?
Yeah.
It's like, it's that simple. It's just
It's
straight with 2
simpler
more
than
cylinders.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simpler than that. You don't have a timing belt. Okay. It's geared.
Mhm.
You got a gear driven oil pump. You've got everything lines up with freaking dots.
There's no killer dowel pin.
There's no dowel pin that's going to wipe you out. It is overall the 1 most reliable, 2 best diesel engine ever made.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go back to previous to its competitors. Okay. So since we're talking, we can leave it open to any years. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's go into the Power Stroke.
Yeah, let's just talk about any of those other engines that people tout as, and I know that the legendary gets attached to the 7.3.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not saying that because I'm a 7.3 guy, but let's talk about any of those other engines that people tout as like, this has got to be like a
So
bank.
let's go to the 7.3.
Yeah.
Because that's your, okay. Again, 7.3 is a great engine.
Mhm.
Okay. But you've got the high pressure oil pump system that adds a layer of complication to your injection system that Cummins have proved that you don't need.
No, you don't.
And Ford has realized you don't need.
Mhm.
That's why they've changed. So we've got that going on. We've got heads that don't flow hardly any air.
No.
I mean,
And for those of you wondering, if you talk to any 7.3 guy that actually knows what he's talking about, you can put the biggest turbo you want.
Yeah.
You can put headers on this thing. Yes, they do make headers for 7.3s. The restriction is still the head.
Yeah.
Period.
You've got powdered metal rods in a lot of 7.3s.
Yeah, basically the 01 to 03 Super Duties basically have powder metal rods.
That limits your potential as far as building. You've got an IDM, for instance, that is controlling
You just got
injectors.
a
You've got a lot of systems
many systems. Yes.
that Cummins doesn't have. Cummins
No.
has an ECM and a wiring harness.
Yeah.
And a TIPM.
I've said it before and I'll say it
Like-
again. If you cut your teeth on 7.3s or 6.0s,
Yeah.
and you go to any other engine platform, you're like, wow, this is easy.
Yeah.
Imagine learning on a 7.3, going up to a 6.0, and then going to a 5.9 common rail. You're like, this is it?
Yeah.
You serious? Where's the other high pressure system?
Yeah.
This is the only one I got to worry
exist.
about?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, but what do I? So I don't need 5,000 O-rings.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Speaking of 6.0s, unless there's something else you want to add to the 7.3 as far as
Well, long story short, 7.3.
it's just the systems. There's too many systems.
There's too many systems, and when it comes down to power, you've got 7.3 liters.
Making 125 horsepower.
They made more than that. But from the factory at its latest, most high power form, it was what, a 250, a 225 horse engine at the crank.
Yeah, common rail started out 305, went to 325. That's pretty respectable.
But it also it out torqued a 7.3 in stock form, inline six. That's just the way it is.
6 in a row, baby.
6 in a row, ready to tow. 8 in a V.
Yeah.
You sit down to B.
Speaking of another 8 in a V's, again, 6.0 liter. We've got a variable geometry turbo, complication. We've got an EGR system, complication. We've got head issues or head bolt issues.
Yeah.
Complication.
Oil cooler coolant is the lifeblood of the vehicle, and also oil coolers fail pretty often, and when they get clogged up, the coolant doesn't do its job, which therefore the oil doesn't do its job. And guess what? Those are HEUI injectors, which means oil is everything.
Yeah.
And you can trace all of the 6.0 problems down to the oil cooler.
Yep.
Something has to happen to the oil cooler to start fucking things up, and everything goes
Always.
downhill.
Okay. 6.4. Ticking time bomb. We've talked about that.
6.4 low RPM, high boost numbers, factory compounds.
The first 15,000 miles are probably, bonerific.
if you can get there.
Okay, if you can get there. But-
Here's the thing: you get factory compounds, piezo injectors, like they're on the right path, right? This is like
on the right path.
this is But then you got EGR and DPF. We're not saying we're not anti-emission at all. Okay, we're just talking about just face value.
Yep.
Issues with
We're
the
just
engine.
going through all the engines here that and in comparison to the issues that the 5.9 Cummins has, the 5.9 Cummins issues are few and far between, and it's usually a very specific something that is happens. So it's not a universal problem that all these engines had. So 6.4, lifespan on them, 15,000 miles, whatever. They crack pistons, they're shit.
And if you think about when other people talk about, I had a 6.4, it lasted a long time. I'm going to guess that you have a diary of all of the maintenance done on the truck because you did it on time or early.
And you didn't drive it like an asshole.
And this is the other side. This is what I call maybe the neglect factor, the work truck factor. You can neglect the living shit out of a 5.9 common rail. I'm talking like 15,000 mile oil change intervals. Like, don't even change fuck coolant.
Forgot to change the coolant or the fuel filter. Oops.
Yeah. like just like you can literally neglect the living shit out of that truck.
Yeah.
And still get back on schedule by doing some good maintenance on it for a couple of intervals and be fine. If you even talk to someone 2 states away about a coolant change and your 6'4" happens to hear about it on TikTok
through the grapevine,
it'll just spontaneously blow a piston in your driveway.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they are so sensitive. And yes, they do stock for stock. Yes, they make more power, but you have reliability goes way down. You have to, it's a princess compared to like negligence. Like you cannot neglect a 6'4".
Yeah.
You thought 6.0s were temperamental?
No, it's like a crazy person that like you if you forget to give them their meds, they'll just break down.
Yeah, and it's not like a 24-hour cycle. It's like this.
Yeah.
They got to gummy this pill for every day for it to work, or else they go off the rocker.
Yeah. Okay. And then some of you sitting back will be like, whoa, what about the 6.7 Power Stroke? That's been a fantastic platform.
Love the engine.
It's a great engine. However, they had their issues too. They had turbo issues until what, 14?
11 to 14. Ceramic ball bearings.
Yeah, 14. Also, the early 6.7s had head issues where they had like valves dropping on them.
Lots of valves and valve seats dropping.
Yeah. So there's issues there.
Also, just the complication factor.
Yeah. And
you look at a 6.7 Power Stroke and then a 5.9 common rail.
Pop the hood on your 6.
Tell me which one you feel more comfortable tearing into, just for anything.
Yeah, just
change injector to injector.
Yeah, injector.
I gotta change an injector.
Good luck even finding your valve cover. But okay, yes, Ford has fixed a lot of the issues that they had on the earlier 6.7s. However, I do not believe it's been around long enough to even come to the same level as the 5.9 Cummins as far as reliability. It's getting there. It's close.
I'd say it's damn near close, if not there already, because if you think about how many 03 to 07 5.9 common rails were produced compared to 2011 to current 6.7s that were produced,
I'm saying 14.
11 to 14?
Or let's say 15 to current.
15 to current. I'd say there's more 15 to current 6.7 Power Strokes on the road now than were produced for the 03 to 07 common rails.
But at the same time, you can still pick up a 5.9 Cummins that's still ready to go, like with 200,000 miles on it.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's take emissions out of the equation. Let's pretend 6.7s never came with emissions. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got like a little bit of money burning a hole in my pocket. I almost bought a 5.9 common rail with 290 on it. If someone were, and again, emissions are not an issue. I'm not saying it's been deleted. I'm saying just emissions didn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. It was not a factor. If someone were like, I've got 290, a 6.7 Power Stroke, I'd be like, I don't really want it.
Yeah.
But 290 on a 5.9 common rail? Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to find that reputation either way.
Well, look at the cost it takes to, let's say, rebuild a 5.9 Cummins over a 6.7 Power Stroke.
Yeah.
I mean, you could rebuild. I've done it. You could rebuild a 5.9 Cummins for like $1,300, and that's rebuild kit or whatever the rebuild kit cost is now. I don't know what it is now, but whatever the rebuild kit is, and if you're somewhat engine savvy, like know how things go together, you can rebuild that engine in your garage. A 6.7 Power Stroke, I would be a little sketched out rebuilding one. Yeah, I've never done one. I'm sure I could probably figure it out, but there's going to be complications during that process. I guarantee.
I've never done either, but if you were like gun to your head right now, like I kill your family, you get no instructions. Which one do you want to build?
If I had a good block, and all the parts, I could at the end of the night I could have a 5.9 Cummins running. If I just went all night.
And then also again goes to the negligence factor.
Yeah,
you can have a 5.9 common rail so far out of spec and it actually still runs and makes power.
Yeah.
Whereas with a 6.7 Power Stroke and some other engines as well, you get one little thing off, and it's just you're fucked.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. So that moves on to GM.
Mhm.
Okay. We'll start with LB7.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about 6.2s and 6.5s.
No, there's not even in the same category.
Yeah.
LB7's injector issues.
Mhm.
They had issues with their injector lines, contaminants going into the injectors, where manufacturers won't even warranty their injectors unless you can show proof that you replace the lines.
Yeah.
Like that was a problem.
100%. Fixed vane turbo, that's good. Common rail injection, that's good. CP3,
Yeah,
that's good. No lift pump, what the fuck you thinking? But whatever.
Yeah. So there's that, and that is a very, the amount of money it costs to do injectors and lines is the same amount it costs to do a rebuild kit in a 5.9 Cummins and rebuild the entire engine.
That would include machine work and some power parts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
LB7 injectors.
they're not cheap.
It's like $3,500 with lines.
100%.
Like proper. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could rebuild a 5.9 Cummins and put power parts on it. Okay.
Get it punched out. Like everything's good.
That moves to an LLY.
Yeah.
We got EGR.
Yeah. How many PCMs you got?
How many PCMs you got? They didn't necessarily have the same injector issues.
No.
Still have a CP3, which is good.
No lift pump. Fuck.
No lift pump. Still, what the fuck?
Just keep in mind that was the same all the way to 2016.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not saying GM like you should have put one on there because I feel like they're smart enough to figure out you should have put one on there, but like they just I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But LLY, you got a horsepower limit.
Yeah.
650 horsepower, almost on the nose every single time. I would say probably 600 horsepour. You're getting close. I was
taught 600.
Pucker in your butt.
600 is crank, and that's for is that LB7 as well? Because I thought that was basically all the way through LMLs. Or is it just 01 to 10?
Well, I think it's more prevalent on the LLYs and up. I'd have to double check because I know
LBZ,
if you want to make
LMM.
power, you got to do an alternate fire cam because the firing order puts too much stress on the crank and you can break the fucking crank. Don't have that with a 5.9. It's not there. It's not,
and it's not even a 600 horsepower limit. It's like you got to get in the 4 digits.
Yeah,
to really start having like
you got. If you're gonna build a Cummins up into close to the 4 digits, I would hope that you would have your. Can you do it? Yes. Are you kind of living on borrowed time? Yes. Because I think that's with any engine. If you're going to build an engine for 800 horsepower, a Cummins, or 900 horsepower, or 1,000 horsepower, you want to make sure that shit's stout.
Yeah.
Not saying that the bottom end couldn't take it. It probably could, but if you're going to like use this truck every weekend pulling, you're going to want to build it.
Well, here's the thing though. Are you gonna like shatter rods? Are you gonna break a crank? No. You need like a girdle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. But
well, and here's the other thing too. Okay, like if you have a 5.9 common rail and you have a dyno coming up and you just want to fuck your friend in the face,
yeah,
and you turn it up to like 1,000 on everything, and you start touching that 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You did it.
Yeah.
And then you dial it back to your daily driver 550, whatever, you're still fine. Here's the thing with 7.3 Power Stroke. You feel like you want to fuck your friend in the face, get into 4 digits.
You might as well just actually fuck him in the face.
Yeah, you're crawling up there, and all of a sudden it's like 5
literally
connecting rod.
Yeah.
Boom, like boom,
Yeah.
block, boom.
Just drop drawer and just face. That's the only way you're going to actually do that. But again,
it's going to be a blizzard.
Yeah. So. Moving on from the LLY, we've got LBZ. Same bottom end issues.
Yes.
Got to do alternate fire cam. We still have a VGT turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That adds problems. We've got EGR. Okay. Cummins, they didn't do EGR. They didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the engine.
They literally waited to the very last minute.
They did. They did, which I thank them for that because they
Truly.
made a very desirable group of trucks.
They really did. Like when you think
Something
about
like they did that on purpose.
03 to 07, 0360 EGR.
Yeah.
LLY EGR.
Like 06, 07 trucks are like one of the most popular. 06, 07 5.9s are like the 5.9 they're probably one of the most desirable 5.9s. Now, people that build high horsepower trucks, they'll say, well, actually, the earlier trucks
You pretty much are that 305 horse for the spraying on the pistons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're but at the same time, it's within the time frame of the 03 to 07 5.9, which is basically gone unchanged.
Yes.
Okay. LMM
Emissions.
And listen, I'll even after we're done with the Duramax, we'll go through 6.7 Cummins because they have their problems too. And this is what makes the 5.9 so good. But yeah, so we've got emissions, we've got VGT turbo, still have bottom end issues. Got to do an alternate fire cam if you're going to make some power.
Yep.
Okay. Go up to LML.
Well, and longevity still no lift pump.
Yeah. Moving up to LML. They had the smart idea going to a CP4. Fucking geniuses.
Yeah. Still a lift pump.
Still a lift pump. Still a lift pump. Again, VGT turbo. Issues there. Injector issues, not typically on LMLs. No. They're pretty stout when it comes to that. But you have, again, the CP4 that can literally wipe out your entire fuel system.
And again, with the... on a lot of these too, like I want to reiterate the negligence factor.
Yeah. Yes.
The only engine that you can neglect more than a 5.9 common rail is a P pump 12 valve.
A P pump, a VE, or even a 6.9, probably a 6.940 you probably neglect a little bit. 6.2, 6.5, you can neglect those. But those aren't even in the same realm as far as power.
No.
Like they shouldn't even be in the same category. Moving on from LML, L5P got away from CP4, but they still have they call it the high pressure fuel pump.
Yeah, the HP4.
HP4 or whatever the hell.
We did a whole episode on that because we thought they were CP4s and they're not.
They're not. Simplicity reasons, like, again, just like a 6.7 Power Stroke, pop the hood on that. Try to find me a valve cover. Like working on that. It's the complication factor goes up tenfold. And that goes to current Duramaxes today. Okay. 6.7 Cummins. Great platform. It's got all the good stuff, except for the fact they put probably the worst turbo ever made, the worst VGT turbo probably ever made on that truck.
It really makes you think because Garrett was making a VNT VGT style turbo,
which was much more
2003.
Reliable. Yeah, which is much more reliable. That Vane design is much more reliable.
And then Cummins was like, "Hey, we're late to the party, but we're doing something totally different."
No, well, they stuck with the whole set. I mean,
they did.
I mean, that turbocharger has a slew of issues, from the fact that the actuator is literally sitting on the exhaust housing of the turbo, which generates an insane amount of heat, to the fact that the sliding cone design loves to get gummed up with soot and stop working. It is relatively undersized.
So you have overspeeding issues.
It's
the same, like, as far as like the airflow, it's basically the same size that you found in the 5.9.
Yeah.
They just put on the 6.7. And also, keep this in mind, reliability factor. The 6.7, it's the same fucking block, just bigger holes.
Yeah.
That's it. They took material away.
Yeah. And that went up all the way till 2019 or 2018. And in 19, they decided to put a CP4 in. Terrible idea.
For 2 years.
Luckily, they only did it for 2 years, got their head out of their ass and put a CP3 back on the truck. So 2021 and newer.
I can't believe we totally forget about the CP4s and the Power Strokes?
We did. We didn't even bring it up.
You ever heard the term disaster prevention kit?
Yeah.
That was coined because of the CP4s on the 6.7 Power Strokes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
If you have,
we were talking about their other issues.
Yeah. If you have an item on your truck that's called disaster prevention kit.
If you have to buy something for your truck, that is disaster prevention. Bad day.
And that also goes against the killer dial pan on 12 valve.
Yes,
you can almost think of that as like a disaster prevention kit for a 12 valve.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 2021 to current Cummins. There was some turbo changes. Honestly, they're too new to
no overall reliability. I mean, I have one. It's been great. I haven't had any issues. My exhaust brake works awesome. We will see.
Mhm.
We will see what happens. But overall, the 5.9 Cummins is the engine that has the least amount of issues, the most reliable, hands down. Fight me, I'll fuck you up.
Now let's talk about the other factors here.
Other factors.
How many people, like, there's a reason that A, people come and swap stuff.
Yeah.
But B, the goal for most is it's either a P pump or a common rail.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, folks that either swap a P pump 12 valve into a truck, either it's literally 50-50. There's no 49 or 1%. Half of them are like, I want a 12 valve. Like, I want this truck mechanical. I want a 12 valve.
I think it comes at difficulty level as well.
That the other half is I would really like a common rail, but I feel like I'm just not going to be able to do it because there's too many electronics on there. So I'm going P pump camp, rah, 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 rah. But the thing is, like, yes, I get, P pumps. Yeah, P pump 12 valves or mechanical 12 valves, VE pump, P pump. Like, yes, it takes literally one wire to run them. It's a mechanical engine. Once you get started, you have to tell it to stop. It's either going to run out of fuel or you shut it down.
Yeah.
That's it. I get that. And that's very attractive to a lot of people. But when you look at
well, there would be an argument to be had that the 12 valve P pump is the best engine ever made.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because I don't know what is easier to work. They're both relatively easy to work on. One is electronically controlled and one is mechanically controlled, but they're both very simple. So that's a hard answer. That would be a debate. That could be a debate.
Here's my answer for that. Okay. There's some prequels that have to go into this, but I'm just going to cut right to the chase. Okay. And this is, again, coming from a 7.3 guy.
Yeah.
I'm used to having to learn two systems and always account for two systems, fuel and oil, to make a truck run or make an engine run. A P pump is another small engine.
It is.
It's a cam-driven, device.
It's another inline six.
It's another inline six.
Yeah.
So as far as complication goes, I personally think a 5.9 common rail, like, let's say, like, no start issues and it comes down to electrical, okay, on a 5.9 common rail. You get your test light out or whatever.
But it could be FCA. It could be injectors. It could be injector wiring harness. It could be ECM. It could be a lift pump. It could be a multitude of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with like a 12 valve, it could be an overflow valve.
Mm-hmm.
They have mechanical lift pumps that are a mechanical lift pump that like the same lift pump like 350 Chevys had for like decades.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have the only electrical part of that is the fuel shutoff valve.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as like simplicity wise, I mean, unless it's a highly neglected like engine that has been sitting forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and hasn't ran, I kind of think a 12 valve would be easier because it can only come down to really a couple of things.
I'm on the other side here. Like,
and it's cheaper, unless the pump is bad. A set of injectors on a 12 valve you can get into for like
a third of the
$600.
cost. Yeah. That's a night, like dynamite. So you can get a set of dynamites for like $600 or $700.
Yeah.
They're like the best in the industry.
And you're done.
Yeah. So my side of that is, as far as the system goes, I see the system as a whole. And yeah, you've got an FCA that's part of telling the pump what to do. You get a rail pressure sensor that's part of the computer seeing what fuel pressure is and whatnot.
Right.
Like, and I get that. But like, if it came down to actually having to start tearing things apart and replacing things, to me, a P pump is a lot more intimidating as far as like inner workings.
Intimidation factor. I could get that because you got also, you've got, delivery valves, you've got governor springs, you've got you know,
It's a whole nother
it
engine.
is a whole other engine that is on. But
A
at
whole
the
other
same
system.
time, if we're talking about a well taken care of 12 valve and a well taken care of 5.9
Mhm.
common rail, I personally think the
And-
12 valve would be a little bit easier.
Okay, well taken care of, maintenance the same. Yes, a 12 valve, but that kind of goes with the whole neglect factor as well. Like
Right.
a well taken care of 12 valve.
I think, okay, I'll solve this right now.
Here's the other thing though: 215 horsepower
Yeah.
pump,
That's, well,
305.
I don't, that's exactly what I was going to say. This solves it right now.
Yeah,
Is horsepower level.
Yeah.
The amount, the added complications of the electronics negate the easiness of the lower horsepower engine
for almost 100
for 100
more
more
horsepower. Yeah.
It is still even though it's electronic, it is still an extremely simple engine
Yes,
to work on.
and in
So,
my opinion, electronics also extremely simple.
they are, yeah, no,
There's
100%.
no glow plug harnesses.
Yeah, no,
There's
there's none of that. I mean,
Again,
it's-
coming from 7.3, I'm used to just a nest of wires everywhere, and then I look at a 6 or a 5.9, like, I can literally I can
yeah,
see
like
where
almost
each
like
wire
the
goes.
worst thing that could happen with a 5.9 is like you have injectors that are returning too much fuel, which I get calls on. I would say almost daily. I get a phone call about stupid blog I wrote. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm like, well, did you check the injector return rate? No. Well, check it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every single phone call, I could literally answer it. Injector return rate. What is it?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Yeah, it's by far the simplest, easiest, most powerful platform of an engine. And I know, again, we're just talking engine. Obviously, the truck situation, everything surrounding it is, to be to be improved, but overall engine it's the 5.9 Cummins. It is. Yeah. I mean, there should be no debate. Even
There shouldn't.
we got a Ford guy here that's like literally, yes, 5.9 Cummins, hands down. If you're someone who's just getting into diesel and want a diesel truck, I highly recommend something in the 5.9 line.
Yeah.
Even a VP44 truck. I mean, they have their issues with that, but you can get into them pretty cheap, and it's going to come down to a lift pump or an injection pump, and that's basically it. Which is it's just a common thing that happens with those.
And price wise,
They're
like
cheap.
a VP44 is cheaper than a P pump, and it's about the same price as a CP3. But here's
Yeah.
the kicker: the injectors,
Yeah.
half the cost, half the cost of a common
They're
rail.
poppet type injectors. They are based off of pressure.
Mhm.
They're extremely simple to change out. It's a good engine to cut your teeth on, I guess.
It is, yeah. I agree.
So
I when I first got in the industry, like I had a really sour taste in my mouth for VP44 trucks, and then as I started learning more, it's like, if you just did what you were supposed to do on these things,
Yeah.
and like had proper pressure, and know what you have going on,
yeah,
they work well.
They do.
It's an electronically
I-
controlled pump.
I had one that was 630 horsepower. It freaking ripped. I
Keep
mean,
in mind,
I blew up
630 horsepower at the time where 1,000 was
like unobtainable.
yeah.
But I mean, it was not unobtainable, obviously, but to have at that time, this was like early 2010s ish.
Mhm.
Like that was a respectable number to put down on a dyno. But it's still. I mean, shit. I got a hot rod injection pump for it from I will say I got it from BD back in the day, and
Mhm.
it came kind of already effed up. I had to get a new one, and it was an electronic failure. I hadn't even put my tuner on it yet. It just put it in, and they literally sent it to me like next day air. I had it in within like 25 minutes. I mean, they're very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. It's just like I said, it's a good one to cut your teeth on if you're new to diesel and kind of get you into, which the VP44 trucks, it gets you into like tuning, especially if you're like playing around with like a Quadzilla Adrenaline or something, if it has like that on it, which is, it's a fun, I will admit, it's a fun little tuner to play around with. I would definitely do your research on what you're changing, especially with the Adrenaline. They give you a bunch of parameters that you can mess with. I would definitely do a little research on what you're changing with that, but it's a fun one to, I've always said from the beginning that the 12 valve Cummins is the best engine. If you want to learn engines and diesel and building power, that is the engine to start with, because it's all mechanical. Mm-hmm. It gets you down and dirty, adding, removing fuel, adjusting timing, doing these different things to this engine to build power, and it makes you learn what you're doing, because it's not just, put the tune in and call it a day.
Yeah.
You actually have to go in there and adjust the timing. You go in there and adjust your AFC. You go in there and adjust all these things that makes you learn what not to do, because you'll know pretty quickly on what doesn't work. And the best part is as long as you didn't go too far, you're not going to F anything up. You're not, everything.
You can always go back.
You could always go back. So the 12 valve Cummins, I think, is a fantastic platform to learn on as far as building power. Cause it gets you down to the basics. Mm-hmm. Whereas, when you start getting to VP44 stuff, it's a little bit more complicated slightly. You can get some pre-tuned stuff that's pretty hot off the, right off the freaking shelf. But, the guys that are making big power with VP trucks, which are at this point very, very few, they're having they have, like, there was a guy making, I can't remember I think it was called a Monster Pump, which is like a built VP44. Mm-hmm. They're still kind of super unreliable. Yeah. They have a chop at the idle. They're not a really good street, like, daily drive type of.
Let me put it this way: you can put big enough connecting tubes on a 24 valve to where it's you not recommended for street drive.
Well, yeah,
it idle like shit.
Well, it'll idle like shit, and you'll have pump draining issues. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to have that with mine, where if you get on the throttle real hard and bump off of it, it'll actually basically cause the pump to drain, and you have to sit there and crack your lines loose to introduce that fuel back in, basically take up that giant air pocket you made. It's still fun. You could have a really high horsepower. If you're going to build a Cummins for high horsepower, either go with a 12 valve or a common rail. Your VP truck is your maybe your starter truck you can play around on, but
same with the VE pump.
Same with VE pump. VE pump, somewhat similar to P pump, kind of. You've got governor springs. There is some timing you can mess with. It's a simpler version of a P pump.
Yeah. If your goal is 450 or less, daily drivable, VE pump all day.
And they're smooth.
They're smooth. You got better mileage.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, as long as the goal is 450 or less, because and I legitimately mean that. Like, you're not going to make more than that a VE pump.
And P pumps, the world is yours, man.
Yeah.
There's guys making boatloads of power.
Well, because again, it's just another engine.
Yeah,
it's got a cam and springs.
Yeah, there's guys that do custom cut cams for them. You do oversized plungers, larger, delivery valves, also all sorts of things. And like I said, that's a fun one. If you really want to get into like building a diesel truck and building power, that's a fun one to have in your fleet to kind of learn on. Mm-hmm. And then common rail, especially when you get to 06, 07, where you can start getting into like EFI Live stuff.
Just so you guys are aware, 06, 07 is when the Ram went to a CAN bus system. So that means it can run EFI Live.
Exactly. That just opens up a bunch more doors as far as tuning capabilities go. Not saying, most guys don't tune them themselves, but they'll have, their guy, whether it be PPEI, Hardway, whoever. Calibrated. There's plenty of options out there that those guys know what they're doing with those engines. They've fucked with them forever. And that's, that is one engine that, they are completely competent and able to make you big power with.
And the 5.9 comma rails, you gotta remember the last one was 2007 or 2007.
Yeah.
Okay. We're now in 2023.
Yeah.
People are still going back to the drawing board
Yeah.
and making their products better for a third gen 5.9 comma rail. Like
Well, our 007
seriously,
project.
like it's they're
Watch the
still
videos on
going
that.
back and making them better.
So yeah, hands down, it should in the diesel community, and I don't know who these people are that are putting these videos up. Like some of them, most of them I haven't even heard of before. You know, anybody who says indifferent to this, I think is being dishonest about about this shit, because I mean, here's the thing. We sell parts for all trucks, all of them. So we see a lot of the problems because people call us for problems and they want to fix their problem. Most of the problems aren't coming from a 5.9 Cummins. Most of the people buying parts of the 5.9 Cummins are making more power with their 5.9 Cummins. They're not fixing issues. And again, if they are fixing issues, it's probably because of neglect, and it's probably because of, and I know you said they're a pretty capable engine, like where you can neglect, but there comes a point where that,
and mileage too. Like you get 250 and stock CP3. Yeah, you're probably gonna need to replace it.
Your injectors are probably shit. I mean,
you're probably shit.
So
but at the same time, you could, from 80,000 miles to 120, you could change the oil twice.
Yeah,
and not change the coolant and redline that fucker every day.
Yeah,
and it's probably still gonna run.
It's probably gonna still start up for you in the morning.
Probably still make good. You put a tuner on there, it's probably gonna make more power.
Yeah,
just the neglect factor is huge. Whereas you get 10 minutes past an oil change on a 6.4, it's gonna shit a piston.
yeah. I mean, so I think it's no competition. Again, it's whether you are a Cummins guy or not, you cannot deny the reliability factor of that engine and the easeability, which I might have just made that word up, of working on that platform is. There's nothing else.
I just don't understand why there's a debate.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be a debate. If anybody who has a platform like us with this kind of stuff, I think would agree.
Yeah.
With us and yeah, like I said, I don't know who these people are putting out these videos. I've seen a couple of them about best diesel engine. We were gonna do a whole video in the voice of the guy from Custom Offsets.
Yeah.
We forgot.
But they just, and maybe it's people just being naive or something like that. And I get you buy a truck, you kind of, now you're subscribed to a camp, you don't want to say anything else is better than that. But like, I can guarantee you any 7.3 guy that actually starts looking past the facade.
I gotta pee. You guys gotta talk about music.
All right.
Music break.
Small tangent. Corey, music. We haven't done one of these in a while.
We haven't.
I'm
gonna tell you, I've introduced you to him. That new Periphery song.
Yes.
Oof.
Banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still need to get you on that Sleep Token song.
I will. I'm slow when it comes to doing music.
Yeah.
I'm a lot slower than I used to be. It gets me out of my comfort zone because I don't know if I'm so worried that I'm going to find something better than. I don't want to replace anybody on my list, basically. And it's hard because when someone comes along, like Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
And those of you that listen to this type of music are probably thinking like, Ben, how could you sleep on Bring Me the Horizon? What the fuck's wrong with you?
I've been trying to get him into it for a while.
Yes. It's probably been close to a year.
I would say probably since I've started here.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I bought 2 Bring Me the Horizon albums on iTunes, like back in the day, just because I liked them. But I had no scope of how far they went.
Yeah.
And what I recently did is on Pandora, I made a station artist only of Bring Me the Horizon. And I listened to all of it. Listened to the entire discography on Pandora.
How many times?
So twice so far. Literally no skips.
Yeah.
I told myself no skips. And it's bangers. Like I still probably once, twice a week send you a song. And I'm like, dude, this thing rips.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be something that's got more of an electronic feel. It could be something that's like more thrash.
Yep.
Something that's just like more polished. Yeah. And they got it all. Like, and legitimately, Bring Me the Horizon has probably knocked off someone from my favorite bands list.
All right. I want you guys to give me a song to listen to that's give me something.
Oh,
And I'm gonna download it right
Shit,
now.
you're talking to the two wrong people for that.
Yeah.
Well, give me something.
Oh man. Like genre? Like what are you looking for?
Well, you guys are talking about rock, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the banger?
God,
That's a tough one.
We're
What
gonna
do
look
you
like,
mean?
We're like two elitist assholes here right now, trying to like.
well,
Give me one that I'm gonna be like, okay.
my mind is like instantly I want to go to heavy metal
Mm-hmm.
from Bring Me the Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my answer.
I like that one. It's very catchy,
Yeah.
I like catchy.
and I like
What
the
is it
fact
called?
the song's called literally Heavy Metal, and the best part about it is they made that song
As a big fuck you.
By who?
by Bring Me the Horizon. No, this ain't heavy metal.
It's not even coming up.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's a
My
banger.
mind is like, what's going to work in Tyler's brain?
Yeah,
You know?
because my first instinct is always, yes, that song.
Okay.
Listen to that in your truck, loud on the way home.
Okay.
My first instinct whenever I do that is I always, whenever people are like, "Ben, what kind of metal you like?" I'm always like, "Here's something from a mirror. Get ready to just not like it. I don't want you in my genre."
My answer is usually yes.
Yeah.
What kind of metal do you listen to? Yes. Okay.
I'll give it a shot and I will report back.
Yeah. If you like that, we'll give you the next one.
Okay.
Third, we give you first three are free.
All right.
After that, you gotta join us for a tangent.
Okay. All right. Back to the engines.
Yeah. If anybody who's actually cut their teeth on and knows about diesel performance or just diesel engines in general, I don't care if you're a 7.3 guy, a Duramax guy, or anything. If you can't see through the facade and understand that the 5.9 Commarel is like, it is the best.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
don't
again,
get us wrong too. Like
I'm a
although-
7.3 guy. I love UE
Yeah.
injection.
and
I love it.
We give Duramax guys a lot of shit. Okay. And they for some reason take it, but but I still have respect for Duramax engines. I do. Let's face it. They've kept 6.6 liters from 2001
Yeah.
to current. They haven't upped liters or they haven't done anything. Well, they've done a lot, but they haven't changed the 6.6 platform.
Mhm.
Essentially, like just the liter wise.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, incredible for them to still compete with some of the newer horsepower levels that are coming out while maintaining 6.6 liters.
Mhm.
That's something to say. Sit.
Mocha choco bullshit.
but no, yeah, it's just I think it's a there's no competition when it
No,
comes
there
down
really
to that.
isn't.
So
And
I hope this solves the debate of anybody else out there putting videos out there about what's good and what's not. Listen, take it from us. We sell parts for all of them. We hear the issues. We cater our website towards issues on vehicles
Mhm.
because that gets you guys to come to our website because we have catered our listings towards that, towards the problems that people have. And we see all the problems that all these platforms have. There's no, you go to the, 03 to 07 section of our website, there's no fix it this, fix it that. It's just parts.
Yeah.
And mostly performance parts.
And I challenge, like, if you think you've got a good argument about why
Another
Tyler and I
engine,
are
yeah.
wrong right now, what your other
Yeah.
platform is for, again, this is for a pickup truck. Fucking fight me, bring it. Like
Yeah.
I fully
I
open.
would be okay with having a live debate with someone on something
Yeah.
like that.
If you want to do that, get in my email, ben@dieselpowerproducts.com. State your case. Or give me a teaser of your case or whatnot. And I mean this because if you listen to this podcast for a long time, you know that me and Tyler do joke around a lot about stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we joke around a lot. That's fine. This is actually one of those things where we're trying to put this issue to bed. We're trying to put this debate to bed. The 5.9 Common Rail 03 to 07 is the best pickup truck diesel engine. Fact.
Yeah.
Fact. Okay. Fight me.
Yeah. Again, if there's someone out there that thinks they have a better argument than we have for another engine, bring it to the table. Bring it to the table. If you just look at the actual facts surrounding the other engines, and as far as the problems that they are associated with, there's no. It's almost like you'd have to make a pretty damn good argument for us to change our mind.
Yeah.
Not saying our minds couldn't be changed, but you're gonna have to make a pretty damn good argument to make us change our minds on that, because it's just a freaking awesome platform.
I can tell you right now, if you're thinking you have an argument, you're a 7.3 guy, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, don't bring that shit to him.
Don't bring a 7.3 argument to this.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry. I'm not saying friendly fire,
If
but
it's got Huey, you're already losing.
yeah. Sorry, man. Like I just
Well, you could peep. You could peep. You could peep pump a 6 liter or a 7.3 with a Sigma pump from that costs $15,000.
Hypermax. Get out of here. Get the
It's
fuck
not
out
stock,
of here.
baby. That's not stock.
No. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've got comments on this, one of the best places to air your grievances is on our Facebook page, America's Diesel Podcast.
Make sure you tag
the
me.
group. Tag Tyler. Doesn't exist. That's why it's funny. It's a joke. But yeah, get in the conversation. Let's get down to the real deal on this. And if you have some credentials and you do actually want to debate this, holler at your boy, Ben at dieselpowerproducts.com. See you on the next one.
Bah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.